What's up, gang? First and foremost, as always, thank you so much for being minimal members. Amanda and I really appreciate it and glad that you are here. We've talked about intermittent fasting in a past video, so if you have not watched that video, pause this one, exit out, whatever you need to do, go back and watch that one first so you have a base for what I am talking about. What we're going to talk about in this video today is how to structure your days with intermittent fasting. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to go off the standard schedules. I do work with some nurses and people that do have crazy travel schedules, whatever it may be. But for a standard day, and then we can go into, if you guys would like, we can go into kind of crazy schedules. I can do that in a separate video. But we'll kind of bet on the idea that you are waking up early in the morning and you're going to sleep at night. So for example, I'm up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock every single morning, going to bed around 9 o'clock every single night. That is typically my waking hours. So that's most of my clients. So we'll talk about how to build around that schedule, right? So if you've watched that first intermittent fasting video, as you should have, you're waking up in the morning and you're skipping over breakfast, right? So very, very simple. And then you're going to lunch, and typical eating windows between 12 and 8 p.m. Now, the way that we're discussing in this video is the easiest way that I have managed and that has worked well for me and worked with my clients. And it's all built around social ease, right? So most people wake up in the morning, they're getting their stuff, getting the kids ready, getting out the door, heading to work. So breakfast is relatively easy to skip, especially 3 or 4 days in. Your body transitions, you don't miss it. And then you go to lunch. And lunch, you might go with coworkers, you might meet a friend, whatever it may be. But typically the end of the day, the evening, nighttime, is when you want to kick back. It's been a long day and you want to relax and just unwind, right? So I personally think, and you can switch this, but I personally think it's best to build for that. What do I mean by that? What I want to do with your dinners is take all the stress and all the worry off eating. Oh, am I going to go over calories? Where are my numbers at? And so on and so forth. So what your job is when you're structuring your days is to really figure out a good way to nail lunch. What I mean by that is find a lunch that's going to keep you full, get tons of protein in, carry you to dinner, meaning you're not tempted to snack around 3 or 4. Instead, you're filled up, you feel good, but you've created enough space in your calories. We've talked about that in a past video, what your caloric limit is. Create enough space so that by the time you get to dinner, you have tons of room to play, so to speak. So if you want to have a couple beers and you want to have some pasta with some protein, whatever it may be, you can have that. So the example I like to use is protein and veggies, so chicken and veggies or something like that, but a Cobb salad is kind of my go-to example. A good Cobb salad without the heavy blue cheese dressing, use like a balsamic dressing, is going to clock in around 500-600 calories. For most people, your caloric limit is somewhere around 1,500, right? So if that's the case, you have like 800 to 1,000 calories to play with for dinner. So if your caloric window or limit is lower than that, you need to adjust a little bit. The point is, think about going, I don't like the word clean eating, but think about just keeping your lunch high in protein, a little bit of fat, and high in fiber, which a Cobb salad really, really nails. The combination of protein, fat, and fiber, one, it helps you hit your protein minimum, another video, but it also keeps calories really, really low, right? And it fills you up enough to carry you to dinner so that you're not tempted to snack. So that to me is the most socially sustainable way. You're typically meeting friends or you're unwinding with the family at the end of the day. So that way, at the end of the day, always pick something protein-based for your dinner, but it really takes the guesswork out. Then if the kids want to go get pizza, great, let's go get pizza, add protein to it, enjoy yourself. And it's just a nice way to end the day. Of course, if you prefer, if lunches are your thing, just flip it. But instead of evenly distributing, as might be kind of a common sense approach, like I'm going to have, say, 750 at lunch and 750 at dinner calorie wise. Instead of doing that, I like to shift. So either go small and big or big and small, right? And I think I just did the same thing, but you get what I'm saying. Either a bigger lunch and a smaller dinner or vice versa. But the last thing I'll tell you on why I like to have a bigger dinner on top of the social ease that it allows is that a bigger dinner helps carry you through the next day because your body is still digesting overnight. So when you wake up in the morning, the following morning, your body is still breaking that food down, so it still has some energy reserve, so you're not starving first thing in the morning. It just makes getting that fast in the next day really, really, really easy. And then when you're 3 or 4 years in, like I am with intermittent fasting, I regularly go to dinner without eating, which sounds crazy. That's a more advanced topic that we'll talk about in another video, but that is how I'd like to see you set up your days. This like 90% of my clients that I've worked with over the years and currently are kind of have that set up. So they kind of save a lot of their space, a lot of their daily caloric budget for dinner, and it just makes things really, really, really easy. So let me know what questions you guys have. Hope this one was helpful. See you guys in the next one. Bye.